It begins with a presence that does not whisper for attention but commands it. The 2026 Toyota Terramax 6x6 arrives like a moving declaration of power, a machine that reshapes expectations of what a truck can be. It stands in the frame not as a vehicle, but as a force of terrain-breaking ambition. The first thing the eye senses is scale. Not exaggerated, not ornamental, but purposeful. The Terramax stretches forward with a wide, sculpted hood, its surfaces chiseled as if carved from a single block of hardened earth. The front fascia has a quiet menace, with geometric LED bars that glow like watchful eyes in low light. The stance is impossibly planted, 6 enormous wheels pushing outward with military certainty. Every angle suggests a machine built for places that test courage as much as engineering. Along the sides, the truck's extended body catches light like faceted stone. The reflections glide over the reinforced panels, traveling in steady waves across the long cabin and toward the muscular rear arches. When the wind touches the Terramax, it runs along the surface the way a river curves around an immovable rock. Nothing about the silhouette wavers. Nothing yields. The design is an expression of controlled aggression, balanced by Toyota's clean, modern design language. The cabin stands high, framed with matte black trim and armored glass that hints at the world inside, quiet, insulated, and unexpectedly refined. This contrast is intentional. The Terramax may look like a brute built for conquest, but step closer and the textures soften. The handles are cool brushed aluminum, the LED accent lines subtle as a pulse under the skin. It feels crafted, not simply assembled. As the viewer's perspective shifts to the rear, the truck reveals its defining feature, the triple-axle configuration. It anchors the Terramax with a visual weight that seems almost geological. The rear wheels sit staggered in an imposing rhythm, creating an impression of unstoppable traction. It looks as if the truck could climb the side of a canyon the way a glacier cuts its own path through stone. The reinforced bed sits over the final axle with a steel lattice underframe, a detail that adds both elegance and strength. Inside, the cabin merges toughness and luxury in a seamless blend. Soft-touch surfaces meet exposed structural elements, and the seats hold the driver in a supportive embrace. It feels like the cockpit of a long-range exploration craft, clean, minimal, but layered with intelligent design. The digital cluster stretches wide, with floating graphics that respond to terrain changes. Even the steering wheel is shaped for precise control, with a tactile texture that feels secure in the hands, like the grip of a well-forged tool. Once the design breathes into the viewer's mind, the story shifts beneath the surface. The Terramax is more than a striking silhouette. It is an engineering statement. At its heart is a claimed twin-turbo V8 hybrid system, a powertrain engineered for relentless torque delivery. The gasoline engine provides the deep mechanical thunder, while electric motors stationed at the rear axles add instant response. When the driver presses forward, the power rises not in a surge, but in a wave, smooth and unstoppable. The Terramax does not leap. It advances, the way a rising tide claims new ground. All 6 wheels work in synchronized precision, transferring force with a clarity that can be felt in every inch of the chassis. Suspension is where the Terramax separates itself from ordinary off-road machines. Each axle is supported by adaptive dampers that read the terrain in fractions of a second. On rough surfaces, the truck moves like a great creature absorbing the earth beneath it, legs working in coordinated motion. On pavement, the system tightens, drawing the long frame into disciplined control. The ride becomes surprisingly composed, eliminating the float often found in vehicles of this size. Steering precision is enhanced by an intelligent torque vectoring system that distributes power between all 3 axles. The sensation is uncanny. A machine this large should resist agility, yet the Terramax can pivot into bends with unexpected grace. On loose gravel, the rear axles help push through the turn, creating a feeling of fluid momentum. On mud or sand, the 6-wheel layout generates a footprint that grips like a tracked vehicle, allowing the driver to move with confidence even when the world beneath the tires shifts and slides. The technology woven into the Terramax is not meant to overwhelm but to serve the experience. A terrain analytics system monitors gradients, will slip, and suspension travel, offering suggestions but never demanding attention. Cameras provide a multi-angle view, allowing the driver to see around the massive body with clarity. At night, adaptive laser headlights cut through darkness like twin blades of white fire, revealing contours and hidden dips long before they threaten progress. What truly defines its performance, however, is the sense of inevitability. When the Terramax moves, it feels as though no landscape can refuse it passage. Snow compresses beneath its weight with soft, final surrender. Rocky climbs become controlled ascents, each wheel placing itself with mechanical intelligence. Even on open highway, the hybrid system offers a steady surge of power, turning distance into something easily consumed. Yet no machine gains meaning from engineering alone. The Terramax becomes significant when the driver begins to understand what it represents. Owning the 2026 Toyota Terramax 6x6 is not simply about capability. It is about presence, the kind that changes how a person feels when the key is in hand. It represents the intersection of exploration and confidence. It signals a lifestyle not defined by roads, but by destinations chosen with intention. For those who have dreamed of vehicles that could carry them beyond the map's edge, the Terramax feels like the answer to a question long unspoken. It appeals to drivers who want strength without chaos, boldness without noise. It is a machine for those who respect the wilderness yet refuse to be limited by it. Families who travel with equipment and ambition will find space and usefulness in the extended bed. Adventurers will find reliability in the reinforced frame and water-sealed electronics. Professionals who require an all-terrain workhorse will discover that the Terramax offers endurance without compromise. Inside, ownership becomes a daily reassurance. The interior quietness feels like a protected space where the sound of the world softens. Long drives become opportunities for reflection. Short trips feel elevated, the way a familiar path can seem different when traveled in something extraordinary. Even the routine of climbing into the cabin carries a sense of ritual, as if stepping into a machine that respects time and purpose. The Terramax also represents a shift in Toyota's vision, a step toward creating vehicles that embrace extremes with elegance rather than brute force alone. Its hybrid technology ensures both power and responsibility, proving that a truck of this magnitude can still exist with efficiency in mind. The craftsmanship reflects Toyota's commitment to durability, but with a modern edge that satisfies drivers who want both function and form. As the story draws to a close, the image of the Terramax remains powerful. It stands in the fading light, 6 wheels grounded, lights glowing like embers in a campfire. It is a reminder that machines can be more than transportation. They can be companions of purpose, symbols of resilience, and gateways to moments that define a life. The 2026 Toyota Terramax 6x6 is not merely built to travel. It is built to conquer, to endure, and to inspire. It invites the driver not just to go farther, but to discover what lies beyond the expected path. And for those ready to meet it, the Terramax waits, steady, unwavering, and ready for the horizon to rise.